Welcome to the 2025 Northwest State Community College Distinguished Alumni Lunch. I'd like to welcome all the foundation members, Board of Trustees, Northwest State Community College administration, faculty, staff, alumni, the board, parents, guests, and we also have some past distinguished alumni in our presence. At this time, if you are a past distinguished alumni, please stand and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mindy Stainer. I graduated 30 years ago from here.
Mickey Schwartzback. I was 2002. I had to look it up. I graduated in '98 after 9 years. I'm a slow learner.
Tim Drake was 1983 graduate.
Leon Smith, class of 71.
Mary Clapp, 1977.
Dennis Clapp, 1978. Nine. And it was 2017 when Mary and I were both inducted.
Bob Grader, I graduated here in 1974. Distinguished Alumni in 2000. 25 years ago, and that went by.
Dale Becker, I graduated second class 1972 and alumni in 2005.
Stephanie Rocky, I graduated in 2000 and Distinguished Alumni class.
And I'm Ron Coles. I graduated from Northwest Tech in 1981 and selected as a distinguished alumni 2001. At this time, it's my privilege to introduce the Northwest State Community College President, Mr. Todd Hernandez.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to our campus. It's a beautiful day outside. We always hold this event the same day that we do commencement, which is, it makes the day very special. We're here to celebrate all of the past graduates and distinguished alumni, but also the inductees. So, and I've had too much coffee this morning, so I'm vibrating. But we're gonna get an awesome lunch, and congratulations, and I'm glad you're here.
Okay, now it's time to move on to the presentation of the Distinguished Alumni Awards. First, I'm going to ask a question. It's rhetorical. What does it mean to be a Northwest State Community College Distinguished Alumni Award recipient? Let me give you some facts. We now have 106 Distinguished Alumni Award recipients out of over 13,000 graduates. That places these people in exclusive company, less than 1%. They are receiving one of the most prominent Northwest State Community College awards. This speaks volume about each of these 5 people today. So, as a group, let's give them a round of applause. Okay, having been a past adjunct instructor here at Northwest State Community College for about 300 years, I have to do a lot of research to avoid plagiarism. So I went to the dictionary, and according to Webster, distinguished is an adjective. It's characterized by excellence or distinction, eminence, accomplished, standing above others in character, or attainment or reputation, made conspicuous by excellence, noted, noble in behavior. Some synonyms: renowned, illustrious, celebrated. Just so you know, the criteria that is evaluated before someone is selected is very, very strict. So not everyone gets in, as you can tell by only having 1%. So the next rhetorical question that I have is, what do these people get for being a distinguished alumni? Well, they get a free lunch every year. They also get their photo on a wall downstairs in front of the auditorium. They'll get a wall plaque to display in their home or office. A sense of pride. Another rhetorical question that I would like to ask, not just the distinguished alumni recipients, but everyone. How can I give back? So at this time, I'd like to introduce the first presenter, Dean of Business and Public Services, Jason Rickenberg. He will be introducing Kevin Becker. Jason.
All right, good afternoon. Before I get started, one of the things I wanted to mention was you're going to see me 3 times. And I do like to talk, but my esteemed colleague, Dr. Ludwig, reminded me that we have to get to graduation after this. So with that being said, I'm going to be brief, but yet give the due respect to each of the candidates that have received this award. One of the things I found interesting was each of you received a whole bunch of letters of recommendation that I enjoyed reading through. What I try to do is sample those down in regards to time and make sure that it reflects your leadership and what those of you that were nominated, what you think of the individual. So as I look across the room, it's the first time I recognize more of you than I don't, which tells me I'm getting older, which I know because my doctor's actually younger than me. I just found out. So the other one retired. Kevin Becker, he's currently employed by the Farmer Merchants Bank. He actually has a bachelor's degree of business administration with a minor in economics in Defiance College. Graduated School of Banking from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Awards, he was named the 2014 All-Ohio Academic Team. Graduated with honors within the top 5% School of Banking from University of Wisconsin-Madison. Won the FimSim BankSim capstone project while at the same institution and was the co-founder of the Defiance Investing Portfolio Management Club at Defiance College. A couple of his colleagues that he asked to be here today, actually his instructors and professors, Sherry Howard and Lisa Beecher. It's good to see that you're here also. I'll be mentioning you here in a moment. One of the questions was, how did Northwest State impact your life? Kevin mentioned when I first started at Northwest State, I was horrified at public speaking. And also technical writing. 2 of the individuals that would make me do it over and over again, but thankfully I did, was Lisa Beecher and Sherry Howard, who still teach at Northwest State. And certainly they forced me to do it over and over. Since my time at Northwest State, I presented at investor conferences in New York City, write actual annual reports, and worked on both investments and other things. So that's pretty cool. Services to community I know is important. Many of you, each year I read these, and it's kind of impressive. Not only they're overachievers, but they're also overachievers within the community. F&M Bank golfing outing, raising money for the community. Habitat for Humanity. AEL sponsored 2 people to the DR, Dominican Republic, along with other countries, and Fanatics Collect Collectors Relationship Advisor. Within a few of the letters of recommendation, I'd just like to briefly read those. Christian Barnheit referenced in the letter, I had the pleasure of meeting Kevin in 2021 when Professor Lisa Beecher, who we both had privilege of studying under at different times, recommended that we connect Kevin, and then Kevin reached out to me, inviting me to lunch. Shortly after the meeting, I joined Kevin's credit team at F&M Bank from day one. Kevin made my professional growth a priority. He has invested an immense amount of time in developing my skills and sharing his wisdom, not just with me, but with all those on our team. David R. Gherkin from F&M Bank mentions, Kevin displays excellence in the work that he does for the bank, the credit team that has helped build and work in the work done on behalf of the F&M clients and achieving their goals and success. I'm in full support of Kevin's nomination and believe he is a wonderful candidate for this award. And then finally, Ruth Kaufman and Katrina DeGroff Personally, Kevin is a remarkable young man with wisdom and stature far beyond his years. He has always conducted himself with the utmost respect, honor, and leadership, especially with the transition from being a subordinate to becoming a peer and now supervising me when I have far more banking experience than he does. And then finally, Katrina DeGroff. As a supervisor and mentor, Kevin works with others to help them understand and reach potential. He wants to see them succeed and feels immense satisfaction watching them advance in their careers. He is patient and understanding when working with others to help them fully understand and underlying reasons behind why. So with that, Kevin, I'd like to congratulate you on this award and have you come on up.
You're the man of the hour. All right.
I hope I don't lose my voice because I tend to do that, but I'm also not a first draft writer, but I think this might be the first speech I wrote on the first draft, so I might go off script a little bit, but I'd like to thank the Alumni Association for this award. It's quite an honor to be a distinguished alumni and a part of this group of fellow Northwest State students. When I learned I received this award, I kind of reminisced why I decided to attend Northwest State 13 years ago, and I didn't look at any other colleges. I didn't do much due diligence on Northwest State. My dad graduated in 1972, and I only heard about how much he liked the college, and that was really enough for me. So while other high schoolers were out, taking their 6 days of, days off of high school to go visit colleges, I never visited any. I first got to Northwest State this summer of 2012 for orientation. That was the first time I'd been on campus, and so it's special for me 20 years after my dad received the Distinguished Alumni Award in 2005 to be able to meet that mark as well. I have a lot of fine memories about Northwest State, and the college helped me grow a lot in my 2 years here, but in particular, there were 3 professors who really inspired me, and 2 of them I'm glad are still here and attended. First, Lisa Beecher was one of my first business professors. She taught all the marketing and entrepreneurship courses, and she still does to this day. So as kind of alluded to at the time, I really dreaded public speaking. We didn't really do that in high school much, and I was happy we didn't. But after about 5 courses with Lisa, she made us give a presentation in every course, sometimes multiple presentations. So after about a dozen of those, I think I finally was able to finish one, and I think she even said, "Nice job on the last one." So thanks for pushing me, Lisa. Second, Sherry Howard taught my favorite course at Northwest State, which is kind of peculiar for a business student, but that was Humanities 210. It studied art and philosophy from the Renaissance to modern day, and Sherry was brilliant and really challenged me, particularly developing a broader understanding of different ideas that I had. She also taught with a level of professionalism that really shaped a lot of my analytical writing. But in my line of work, I have to report to the FDIC, we report to the SEC, and a bunch of reviewers, and everything we do is looked at like 6 different agencies. It's kind of overwhelming. So kind of was thinking, who backtests or monitors what the professors do at Northwest State? I don't know if they're regulated or not, but so I went back to the original syllabus of Humanities 210, and the course learning outcomes state students will write clear and organized papers by developing evidence to support well-reasoned arguments. Well, it's quite rewarding that that's actually what I do most days, and I couldn't do that without Sherry's course, particularly when the financial world was forced to adopt something called the current expected credit loss methodology for our accounting for loan loss reserves, and without technical writing and support in research and analytics, wouldn't have been able to pull that off. But when you start talking about your day job doing accounting methodologies, you really start to lose people. So from that, but lastly, Mike Wolf was the Dean of Business my last semester here. And I worked with him on a paper I wrote called The Investment Collectibles Market, understanding asymmetric information and elasticity and private value auctions. And he had a similar interest in that field. Him and I wrote a paper with a little bit of his help. And later, after his sprinkling of holy water, I gave that paper to a friend of mine who has a little bit more money than me, and ended up buying the leading company in that industry for 800 million, I think like 5 years ago now, and just kind of deploying some basic economic principles that I learned here at Northwest State. And first econ course, that business is probably worth at least $5, if not closer to $10 billion today. And we had a lot of fun talking about that. But career and business success doesn't really matter to me that much, even being in business. But the greatest joy I've had is building relationships with people who I respect and trust, and who I don't want to let down. And you don't probably realize it, Sherry and Lisa, but when you go to work, it's kind of like I think about people like you over the years and think you don't want to let those people down in your profession. So I've had the pleasure of being in confidence with people who own some of the largest private companies in the United States. I didn't realize they'd be shown on pictures here when I turned them in, but just what I'm happy to attribute whatever definition of success that I've enjoyed to some of my early days in Northwest State. So thanks again for the award.
Okay, our next presenter, Jason Rickenberg. And he's going to introduce Dan Beneke. Would you like another round of applause, Jason?
Well, the last time I was up here, got a little lightheaded, and I got to remind myself to breathe between sentences here. So with that being said, Daniel Beneke. It was a pleasure as well. Had a whole stack of letters of recommendation. I was impressed reading through them. I limited them down to Chief Bowen, Nick Nye, and obviously your daughter. I found that one to be the most special. So if we could, employment, currently president of Sanjan in Archbold, I believe. Education beyond Northwest State, EMT certification, firefighter, also a fire investigator. Within his professional successes, Daniel is a third generation business owner, president of Sanjan, which hauls construction materials in Northwest Ohio. He's also a Ridgeville Township Volunteer Fire Department Chief. Go ahead and start reading in to the letters of recommendation, which again, I found to be remarkable. From Chief David Bowen, it is my firm belief that Mr. Beneke is an exemplary candidate for the Distinguished Alumni. He has made a long-lasting impact on the construction industry, his department, and his community. This recognition would serve to affirm his contributions and dedication to passion to accept nothing but perfection and success. Nick Nye, the Director of Henry County FEMA. I wholeheartely recommend Dan Beneke and any recognition or honor that may be bestowed upon him. Their impact, both as an individual and as a representative of Northwest State Community College, is immeasurable, and it is truly an honor to witness their ongoing successes. And this is a 2-for-1 because his daughter, Autumn, is actually a student here at Northwest State, as she writes in her letter. 17-year-old student from Archbold High School. And one of the things she says that I admire most about my dad is his dedication to helping others. He has been a volunteer firefighter in Ridgeville for many years and fire chief for about 8 years, putting in countless hours to keep our community safe. He leads his team with strength and compassion, always making sure he is prepared and ready for help in emergencies. Watching him risk his life to help others has shown me what truly bravery and leadership looks like. Aside from his work with the fire department, my dad also gives back through the business, Viking Trucking in Sanjan. He uses his companies to support local projects, help people in need, and give back to the community. Whether it's donating resources, sponsoring local events, or simply lending a helping hand, he never hesitates to step in. In regards to service into the community, Daniel also serves as the volunteer firefighter in the EMT Ridgeville from 1997 till present, the volunteer fire chief, Henry County LEPC quarterly meeting, Archbold Athletic Complex member bi-weekly meetings, and Mutual Ministry of St. Martin Lutheran Church Archbold quarterly meetings. And with that, Daniel, I'd like to have you come on up and say a few words and get your picture taken. Congratulations.
Well, I'll tell you, maybe I should have taken a little bit more notes while I was attending here on public speaking. Good morning, esteemed faculty, alumni, family, and friends. It is with immense gratitude and humility that I stand before you today as a recipient of the Distinguished Alumni Award from Northwest State Community College. This recognition is not just a personal honor, it's a celebration of support that the education of this institution has provided me throughout my journey. After graduating in 1997 from Archbold High School, I was unsure of my career path. I can remember my father saying, "Why don't you take some business classes out at Northwest State?" Didn't know that this was going to be my foundation of my career. Graduating in 2000 with degrees in business management and marketing and retail marked a significant milestone in my life. Northwest State equipped me with knowledge, skills necessary to navigate the complexities of the business world. It ignited my passion within me to lead me on my journey as the owner and president of Viking Trucking and Sanjian Incorporated. When looking back at my time attending at Northwest State, I can still remember my sales presentation, my first sales presentation with Mr. Squires. I believe my sales pitch, imagine this, was firefighting turnout gear. So he taught us how to pitch the sale to the buyers to keep them interested in the product we were selling by demonstrating active listening and adapting my responses to the audience feedback. I was able to build rapport and trust, and that is critical in the construction industry, in the transportation industry, and construction. Building rapport and trust is a major contributor to Viking and Sanjian's success today. Additionally, I'm proud to serve as the chief of the Ridgeville Township Volunteer Fire Department. I served as chief starting in 2017. I became a member of the department May of 1997. I attended Northwest State for business classes during the day, and I was able to take firefighter and EMT classes through Poor County in the evening. The skills that has the skills of being a chief has allowed me to combine my love for public service and my leadership skills. One of the most fulfilling aspects of my career is leading and dedicating to protecting my community, and has taught me invaluable lessons about resilience, teamwork, and the importance of public safety. Building my business and leading the fire department have been both challenging and rewarding. These experiences have shaped my approach to leadership, reinforcing the idea that true success is about making a positive impact of the lives of others. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to the dedicated staff of Northwest State. Your commitment to student success and unwavering support has left lasting impact on my life. You encouraged me to pursue my dreams and provided me with the tools for those dreams to become reality. To my fellow alumni, I would like to personally congratulate each and every one of you for receiving this award. Together, we have navigated the challenges of our respective fields, and I'm proud to share this honor with all of you. In closing, thank you again for this prestigious award. I'm proud to be an alumnus of Northwest State Community College. I look forward to continuing this legacy and excellence together. Thank you.
And our next presenter is not a surprise. Jason Rickenberg. And he's going to be recognizing Tim Dennis.
This is my last one. Dr. Ludwig, I believe you're on deck. Tim Dennis, had the pleasure of meeting briefly before this wonderful meal that we just had. Employment, of course, Tim is the CEO of Mrs. Dennis Potatoes, 1987 to present, and owner an apartment complex in Wasion from 1987 to present. I'm going to read these stats, and it's truly incredible. Dennis apartment buildings total 530 rental properties. Owner and CEO Mrs. Dennis Potatoes has increased production of potatoes from 10 million pounds of potatoes in 1987 to 85 million pounds in 2025. Truly incredible. Same with the other candidates. Lots of letters of recommendation. One of the points where Dennis was asked about is how Northwest State contributed to the career of his choosing. Tim mentions that Northwest State played a huge role in shaping my career and success. The college provided me with a strong foundation of my academics and my business professional growth. Critical thinking has been key to running a strong business. Learning accounting is key to running any business. My dear friend Kevin Whitlock, we serve on the foundation board together. He was one of the letters within his letter of recommendation. In addition to his successes as a businessman, Tim was also a very much a philanthropist. Tim serves a very active role in the good work of the Wasion Rotary International. The Robin, I believe you serve on as well. He was instrumental in the countless hours that Rotary spent in the development of Wasion's Dorothy Biddle Park. He was routinely present at Rotary, many fundraising auctions and events. And Tim was also very charitable in donating potatoes to food banks and various local charity contributions. Mr. Troy Armstrong, president of the Wasion Rotary Club, says Tim's dedication to the Wasion Rotary Club and is highlighted over his 20 years of membership. His volunteerism includes the Wasion Rotary Club Board of Trustees, the annual reverse raffle, perfect attendance, financial support of the club, and his projects, time and effort dedicated to the Dorothy B. Biddle Park Project, the Homecoming Trail Project, the annual Rotary Auction, and many other Rotary projects in the Wasion community. And then finally, Mr. Kevin Sauter. I believe you two graduated high school together. Tim was clearly intelligent, driven, and hardworking, already at age 16, and that focus just intensified when he built his businesses. Working full-time on his father's potato farm while attending Northwest State Community College. Tim eventually started his own potato farming and processing business, which has grew to enormous size as Mr. Dennis's Potatoes. Tim and his wife, Suzanne, who I had the pleasure of meeting, raised the children showing examples of hard work, innovation, and determination. And so, Tim, with that, I'd like to congratulate you and would like to have you come up for your picture and to say a few words.
Congratulations. A small correction, you just sold Mrs. Dennis's potato farm about 1.5 years ago. The people that bought it, it's expanding it a little bit. Payroll is a little bit bigger than it was. We found a good bunch of people to take over after us. Excuse me. I can't, I cannot, you can't, you cannot, all died in the poorhouse. But somebody's vocabulary includes I can't. Not much is going to change. Not much is going to go forward. You're kind of stuck. One of my early I can'ts was I can't go to college and I can't work at the same time. Northwest Tech. I graduated in 81. It was still Northwest Tech. Remember Mr. Cobb?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Marliott?
It did happen.
We by going to school, by solving the I can't, I was able to work and go to and get a degree, an associate's degree. And excuse me, the foundation, the business foundation I got by having this associate's degree in business, the accounting, business law, just basic business principles, finance. These are the base from which I grew and operated three concurrent businesses. So I want to thank Northwest State, and what I would encourage anybody that just like Northwest Tech, Northwest State solved the I can't for me. This is whether somebody needs a degree or a certificate or just some ongoing education. Northwest State can be part of I can for a lot of people. Thank you, Northwest State Community College.
Okay, our next presenter is Tiffany Ludwig, Dean of Nursing and Allied Health. She will be presenting Melanie Hicks for the Distinguished Alumni Award. Tiffany.
Sure, you guys are tired of hearing from Jason at this point, so at least it's a new face up here. All right, Dr. Melanie Hicks. I've had the pleasure of working with Melanie for the past 3 years and many projects, many student-related issues. Melanie repeatedly demonstrated excellent leadership abilities and a focus on quality education with her students here at Northwest State. Dr. Hicks's professionalism and service continues on as she progresses through her career. Melanie has been a recipient of the Toledo Hospital Patient Care Excellent Award. She has been a reviewer for 3 nursing textbooks and participated in a poster presentation at the Nurse Tim National Conference. She is a member of the National League for Nursing, Ohio Nurses Association, and Honor Society. And all of that is outside of Northwest State. She's also an ASIN reviewer because this was written a year ago, so she has added more to her plate as well. At Northwest State, Dr. Hicks is a member of Faculty Council, Academic Affairs, co-chair of Curriculum Committee, a mentor to new faculty, chair of HLC Criterion 3, which is Higher Learning Commission. She's been part of multiple search committees, the lead for Alpha Delta Nu Honor Society, and among many other ad hoc committees and other projects. She is definitely our department's cheerleader. Some comments about Dr. Hicks include, she is incredibly dedicated and generous. Melanie is the first person to volunteer to help others consistently, often without being asked. Other comments continue with, Dr. Hicks understands the importance of collaboration between academic institutions and external partners with a commitment of fostering relationships. Melanie is truly an asset to Northwest State and will continue to make significant contributions here. Melanie's drive and compassion for her students truly guide and support our learners to become the best nurses possible. She is a true pleasure to work with and is not just a leader, but a role model for those who inspire her around her. Again, congratulations, Melanie.
Well, as a nursing faculty here, I never really thought I would be as nervous as I am standing in front of you all here today. Just the other week at a trio awards night, I told a learner, if you get nervous, just look out at everybody and think that they're all naked. Well, I'm eating those words today because that's a little awkward for me to do with all of you. So I'm deeply honored and humbled to be standing here today as a recipient of the Northwest State Community College Distinguished Alumni Award. To be recognized by the very place that helped shape who I am is both overwhelming and incredibly meaningful. When I first walked onto the campus as a student, I wasn't sure where life would take me. Like many of my peers, I was seeking direction and opportunity, but more than anything, I was searching for the confidence and skills to become someone who could serve as a role model for others like me who came from backgrounds where the odds were often felt stacked against me. What I found at Northwest State was so much more. I found mentors who believed in me before I believed in myself. I found classmates who motivated me, and I worked harder and I dreamed bigger. I found a community that challenged me and supported me. Let me share something. When I first started here at Northwest State in the associate degree program, I quickly realized I wasn't ready for the rigor of this program. I was trying to adult like most of our learners, and I worked entirely too much. It was when I failed, Kathy Greitman, my nursing instructor at the time, brought me to her office. She gave me a roll of Lifesavers and a piece of paper with a Bible verse from Nehemiah. And she told me that she believed in me, and that when it was my time to come back to finish my nursing degree, that she would be honored to have me take care of her family. I often wonder if she knows how much that really impacted me, and I still have that Bible verse in my jewelry box, and I did come back a few years later. I started as an adjunct here at Northwest State with only an associate's degree. My goal was to make an impact on students just like Kathy did for me. With every degree and professional step I have taken at Northwest State, I've had a wall of powerful women in my corner. Diane Wendt, Chris Higby, Mindy Stainer, Lynette Will. I never felt like I was climbing alone. You see, Northwest State didn't just give me an education. It gave me a foundation. It taught me that success isn't a, God bless you. It taught me that success isn't a straight line. It's built moment by moment, choice by choice, and ultimately fueled by caffeine, Twizzlers, that was my guilty pleasure, and a stubborn refusal to quit. Being a nursing instructor is one of the greatest honors of my life. I frequently see a version of myself in our students, full of hope, full of questions, and many times questioning if they can do it. Today, as I receive this award, I do so with immense gratitude. Gratitude for every person who played a role in my journey. It is a privilege to now be the person who gets to say, you can do this, and you can do hard things, which, by the way, is part of my work email signature. However, I would be remiss to not mention that my path has always been more than just about me. It's been for my kids. I wanted them to see through every late night, every challenge, and every triumph that it's never too late to chase something bigger, to build something bigger. I want them to know that hard work, education, caffeine, Twizzlers, and perseverance can open doors. I accept this award not just for myself, but for every student who ever wondered if they were enough. They are, because Northwest State proves that every day. And again, thank you for this honor.
Okay, I get to introduce our next presenter. One behind Jason, Tiffany Ludwig, Dean of Nursing and Allied Health. Tiffany. She'll be presenting the award to Julia Salinas.
It is my great honor to introduce someone whose achievements exemplify the very best of what it means to be an alumnus of Northwest State Community College. Julia Salinas, a proud graduate of the class of 2003, has distinguished themselves through a remarkable career marked by innovation, leadership, and service. Dr. Salinas has earned the Platinum Performance Achievement Award, the People's Choice Award, and has presented on several process improvement projects at a national level. She is a member of the Honor Society and serves as an advisory board member for a STEM program. She is also part of the OSU Alumni Society, the Holistic Admissions Committee. She is a Buckeye-bound panelist, among many other activities. Dr. Salinas has made significant contributions to the field of nursing by the endless hours spent mentoring, teaching, and coaching staff to provide outstanding care to patients served. Some comments about Dr. Salinas. It is because of her mentorship and her support that I am the leader that I am today. She consistently demonstrates the highest standards of integrity, values, mentorship, and leadership. Other comments include, one thing about Julia that was impressive was her ability to balance work, family, and school. Some more comments. The students Julia engages with speak highly of her ability to teach, guide, and encourage them to achieve their dreams. Julia is making an impact on future nurses by demonstrating how to be a highly skilled nurse that is caring and compassionate. Dr. Salinas has given back to the profession of nursing and has made a true difference in healthcare. And also I have to say, as a side note, sitting at the table, briefly meeting your family, it's very well placed that I'm sitting at a table full of Buckeye fans. So it would have been awkward if it was something else. So congratulations and OH. Good thing I'm last. Okay. This is a little nerve-wracking. I am used to standing in front of sophomores, a lecture hall of sophomores. So I'm not sure why this is nerve-wracking to stand in front of a room full of adults, but we will get through this. Okay. First of all, I want to thank the Foundation and the Alumni Society for hosting this inspiring award and event. To begin with, I am humbled. The gravity of the award kind of set in, just sitting here, listening to your introduction. So I have a mountain of gratitude for my supportive husband, Dan, and our grown boys, Caleb and Drew. Drew is here today. Parents, both sets of parents are here, and a lot of other family, friends, and mentors. I'm blessed to have such an amazing support network. Of course, I would not be where I am today without the foundation I earned at this great community college. I spent 2 years here. It was 2001 to 2003. We had a newborn and a 2-year-old, and I had to get creative with studying. It was most often happened at 4 a.m., nap times, and after bedtime, but I knew that my drive for finishing nursing school was my family, and we made it work on one income, living modestly on a tight budget for those 2 years. But little did I know I would embark on a lifelong journey to finally earn my doctorate. So a little bit about what happened here while I was at Northwest State. There was a job fair while I was a student here. It was probably before I started my last semester, and Ohio State University Medical Center was in attendance. And I knew that this was also during a nursing shortage. So going into 2003, I looked at the opportunities that were available by Columbus and going to Ohio State and thinking big picture of all the opportunities. I was recruited to work there with a sign-on bonus and relocation assistance. My husband was completely on board because at the time he had his education degree, but not a full-time teaching job. He was substitute teaching and working at Manville. So shortly after graduation with my associate degree, we sold our house and moved our little family to Columbus and never looked back except visiting, of course, frequently. So at Ohio State, I worked most of my career in the ICU setting. I moved into the cardiac cath lab, quality management, nursing leadership, and most recently this was just finished my full-time year teaching in academia at the Ohio State College of Nursing. Northwest State more than prepared me for what was next, from the supportive instructors, doable curriculum, and affordability. It was one of my best life decisions, a close second to marrying my best friend, coming up on 30 years. One of the things that has stuck with me all of these years in practice was the positive influence my previous instructors had on me from Northwest, especially during building that initial critical thinking piece as nurses that we know about. I reference this often with my own students, and it's those positive experiences with my former instructors that stuck
with me, and I hope stick with my students throughout the years, that I knew that that's the impact I wanted to make on my students, mentoring them in this honorable profession. So whether it be active learning, talking through a case study, reflecting on clinical experiences, or simply providing constructive feedback, these are a few examples of what worked for me as a student and I can impart to my students. So I am certainly Northwest State proud.
Okay, again, let's have a round of applause for all 5 of our recipients. And hopefully this won't be repetitive, but the first thing I would like to talk about is what does it mean? Again, synonyms for being distinguished: qualify, shine, be described, count, be considered as, be named, be counted, be eligible, be characterized, be designated. Today is an achievement, a step. May each of you be proud of the work that you've done and will continue to do, the person that you are, and the difference that you make. I would like not just the award recipients to aspire, but everyone in the room, aspire to inspire before you expire. Unknown quote. Recognition, as I mentioned before, each of the award recipients will have their photo and plaque placed in the hallway outside of the auditorium. So be sure to check that out. I think they'll be available after the lunch for autographs, if you would like to get one of those. Someday they could be worth lots of money. And lastly, in closing, I'd like to say congratulations to all the recipients. You've been recognized and you've received adulation today. Cherish this moment. And one last thing before we end the day, I would like to wish everyone that applies to a happy Mother's Day tomorrow. Okay, thank you for coming. We hope to see you next year. And a round of applause for everyone.